Today we're just going to show you the detailed process of how to recover a car headlining. So you can apply these steps to most modern cars that experience that drooping sagging issue. So you want to start by removing the headliner board out of the car. So we'll show you how you can apply these same steps on a hatchback, wagon or a sedan. So the ute model, you just want to take off the plastics that needed to come off for the headliner board to drop down, and then you'll just take it out through one of the front doors there. So on a hatchback or a wagon, you just take it out through the rear, and on a sedan it's usually done via the front passenger door, but you can also take it out through the rear driver's door as well. So with the headliner board out, you want to just take off any of the remaining plastics that needed to come off. So with this one, there's a couple of plugs that we haven't taken off yet. There'll be this map light section here that's got to be unbolted. On this car, it's all done from behind the headliner board. Some other cars you can just basically, there might be just some plugs or some visible screws at the front. So with this one, we're just going to rotate the board, get access to those screws from behind. So those ones can be removed with a Phillips head, and once that's done, we'll be up to the stage of removing the old material. Alright, so there we go, that's been removed. Flip it back over again, take off this old material. If it's sagging, it's going to come off really easily. If it's not sagging and maybe you just want to do a colour change, sometimes you can't budge the material and you may have to recover over the top. But majority of the time you're only removing these headliner boards if you want to fix the sagging issue. So with this one, it's not sagging too bad, that's why it's a bit difficult to remove. But you want to take off this whole material completely off the board, and then we'll move into the stage of scrubbing this board and removing this old foam. Okay, that's the old material removed. That can go straight in the bin, or if you want to keep a hold of it just to colour match, go to the upholstery store or your local fabric place and purchase this material. So if you want to buy any material through us, we'll have some links in the description below that will take you through our sales page. Anyway, that goes in the bin, and then we'll want to use a scrubbing brush, something like this with a bit of straw. Another brush like that could work too. So now you just want to get in there and scrub down this old orange foam, and basically you want to bring it to a nice clean board, and you can use an air blower or brush it down nice and neat and get it to a nice clean finish, ready to apply brand new material. So the old foam goes like kind of like an orange color usually, and that's kind of what's making these headliners fall down. It's not really a glue issue, it's the foam just getting old, starting to deteriorate. It changes this color, it gets all crumbly, and the material's got nowhere to stick no more, and it just falls away. So if you try to add glue to this headlining board now as it is and try to stick down the old original material, you're going to find that the glue hits the material, and because the material has gone so thin now, the new glue that you add is just going to kind of bleed through onto the visible side of the fabric, and you end up just seeing a massive stain there. So also it just makes a mess when you add glue and not taking off this old foam. It just kind of like, it just really makes it difficult to remove the old foam when you take it to an upholsterer to do a professional job. So do the job once, do it right, take off the old material, throw it in the bin, scrub down the old foam, get rid of it all, bring it back to a nice clean finish, and then we can apply the brand new material. Just before you go to start taking off this old material and then reapplying brand new material with the new glue, it's always best to get yourself some protective wear. So some chemical gloves we'll be chucking on right now, eye protection and good respiratory protection there, and also just overalls, that way we're not making our clothes dirty, because it does make a mess. So we'll get all that gear on now, and we'll just take off this old orange foam, bringing it back to that nice clean finish, ready for the new material. Alright, this is the headliner board all cleaned down. That's the stage that you wanted at before we progress. So once you've got it to this stage, we can now move into measuring how much material we're going to need. So I like to keep about 50 millimeters, 5 centimeters overhang at the rear and the front, That way you can overlap the material around, it gives it a better hold. So once you've done that, we'll be cutting straight from the roll. So we'll plonk that over like that and trim that off, and then we're ready to apply new glue. So this is our material ready. So that's a brand new material there, and what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half, and you're going to apply glue to this side, glue to the back of the material, bring it back across, and do the same on the other side, and then you can slowly work it in to all the individual shape of the board that you've got there. So with this one, you have got some raised sections around in the center here. That's quite common on most headliners. So anywhere it's got like kind of like a deep recess, you want to be able to not stretch the material over those joins, because it's going to sag there again. So you want to be kind of like working the material in to those areas, not applying too much stress and tension. So it would kind of look like this, and you'll be pushing into that section, and then you go to the outside. If you go straight from the outside there and in the middle, when you go to press it down in the center there, you're going to kind of be placing the fabric under a lot of stress. So just keep that in mind. You want to work the material into all the crevices, and that way you get good adhesion. All right, so let's move into adding some glue. For an idea of what type of glue to use, if you can get yourself some of this 3M High-Tack 76 spray adhesive, that's pretty good stuff. Most local auto trim stores, or any of your local auto barn type of stores, auto centers, usually sell the Permatex brand, and that's pretty good stuff as well. Heavy duty headliner adhesive. So yeah, those two, quite ideal if you're doing a one-off couple jobs. However, we're going to be using more of a bulk type of glue, because we buy it in bulk, so it's going to be coming out of a spray gun. But yeah, if you're just using the cans, we have used these before. We keep them on the shelf all the time. They're great for sunroofs, little touch-up jobs like that, and we know they last, so they're pretty good. Okay, so we're going to spray up and down once, overlapping 50% each time, and then across the way, overlapping at 50% each time, and then once more in the high stress areas, anywhere you know the fabric's going to be under a higher amount of tension. And then once that's done, we'll spray the back of the material kind of the same way, up and down, crossways, 50% each time, overlapping. Bring the two materials together once it's dry and tacky, of course, and then you can apply the fabric gently, working it into the individual shape of your headliner board. Okay, let's do that. And that brings us to the end of the video, guys. If you like the content, just give this video a thumbs up, click that subscribe button to help this channel grow, and we'll see you here on the next video. Cheers.